Hello everyone, I'm Benevision, or Ben, and it comes to my attention that a lot of people don't really have a good picture in their head uh, about Israel, and that's what this video is about. Um, Along with other things, but this is the first thing I would like to start off my video with. Allow me to close my door because I hear something going on. Also, I hope you like the camera that moves by itself. Anyways. So this video is to show you the first part about this video is Israel. So you may have heard the term floating around that we have given $6.9 billion to Israel. But here this is saying that we give $17.9 billion to Israel. And it has all these statistics here. But I wanted to show this website. It's called notmytaxdollars.com or sorry, notmytaxdollars.org. And you hear $17.9 billion and like your brain can't even like think about that much. Like I'll never make that much money in my life, let alone have that much money in my life. So I wanted to show you based off of like something actually local to where I exist in the country. All right. I am in Connecticut, and so I'm going to go off of the capital of Connecticut, which is Hartford, Connecticut. And you can scroll down here to where my capital is here. I also did my town where I am, and it is different based off of towns. So I did the math per person. Hartford, Connecticut has given $8 million to Israel out of your tax dollars. Your tax dollars are paying for this, by the way. This goes for every single state, and I'll show you. All right, so I took the population of Hartford and I divided that by the amount of money that Hartford has given to Israel. And in total, this is the amount of money every single person in Hartford, Connecticut is giving to Israel. All right, imagine every year you're giving $66 to Benjamin Netanyahu. All right. For my town, it was $30, and I was pissed about that. If I lived in Hartford, that would be almost close to $70 I'm giving to Netanyahu. Let's go back to not my tax dollars. All right. In total, Connecticut has given $325 billion to Israel, or sorry, $1 million to Israel. But that's a very low number. How about let's go to some of the big swing states? How about that? New York, look at that, $1.4 billion. Pennsylvania, $600 million. Texas, $1.4 billion. All right, Florida, $1.3 billion. California, $2.8 billion. We're giving billions of dollars away per state. All right. I shudder to think what the average Californian in Los Angeles or anywhere else on the major coastline cities gives per person to Israel. It's probably insane. I probably would put it in the hundreds. If Connecticut is getting taken $70 away, California, Texas, and Florida are probably getting like I don't know, $100, $200 of their taxes to Israel? I don't know. Imagine giving that much money to Israel. Are you comfortable? Did you go to the ballot and you were like, oh yes, I can't wait for my senator to vote to give $30 of my own hard-earned money to Israel? Some people make $7 an hour. Some people make $7 an hour. That means that they'd have to work close to 5 hours, almost an entire workday dedicated to Israel. Go to work for a day for Israel. All right. How about Hartford again? Hartford is sometimes, well, it's the minimum wage in Connecticut is $15 or close to $15 an hour. So you'd be working for 2 hours for for Israel, or 4 hours if you live in Hartford. This just shows you how insane our spending is. We're giving billions of dollars to a nation what the UN is making a genocide right now. They're committing war crimes in front of the world. All right, Greta Thunberg, if you follow my Twitter, I was reporting on it. Greta Thunberg's entire flotilla got captured, all right? It is a war crime to capture humanitarian aid and keep it, all right? It's not allowed. You can't do it. It's a war crime. They committed a war crime on the world stage, and no one's calling them out for it. Why? Why is no one calling out Israel for their war crime? All right? One of their war crimes of many. How about let's keep going? All right. The government is shut down right now because of spending. Our government spending, because we've hit the debt ceiling again. We're one of the only, I think we are one of the only nations in the world that's been perpetually in debt, except for like one president. All right. So how about instead of giving money to Israel, which can already stand on their own 2 feet, as they say, um, how about we take that close to $8 trillion and put it back into our own country? How about we take the $18 billion and put it back into our own country? All right. They show a few options here on the right side. I don't know if you've been reading it, but it could house 11 million people for a month. It could feed 40 million people's groceries for a month. All right. That could fund close to 200,000 teachers, which we are desperately in need of in this country. All right, teachers are leaving by the tens and the hundreds. All right, we're not stacked on teachers, folks. We're running out. All right, and we have the budget crisis, the Israeli crisis, and on top of all that, we have a presidential crisis. All right, we have a constitutional crisis. We have just today, Donald Trump is thinking of enacting the Insurrection Act, which, if you don't know what that means, it's basically imagine if Russia declared war on us and invaded us like it was Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty style, right? And everything east of the Potomac was captured. He could enact the Insurrection Act and he will be able to have direct control over the National Guard. That's what it's supposed to be used for, all right? Last ditch, dire circumstance, holy crap, America might fall if I don't do this order. He wants to enact it for the ghost protests happening in Portland and around the nation, he says. There are random protests. They were talking about a dangerous Antifa protest happening in Oregon. You want to know how many people were in Oregon? 11. 11 people. All right? It's not a threat to national security for 11 people to be standing out in the middle of a road. All right? It's barely a matter of public safety. All right? So he wants to enact the Insurrection Act so that he can arrest these violent Antifa thugs. It's I love the double standard of that Democrats are whiny, prissy, stay at home nobodies who are like obese, can't get a job, and they live off welfare. And then on the other hand, they're violent, radical extremists who are ready and willing to kill at a moment's notice. And they're so motivated to kill because the Democratic Party told you to. The Democratic Party couldn't tell me to go wipe my own ass. All right? The Democratic Party probably can't wipe their own asses. All right? They're a bunch of geriatric, diaper wearing, stroke having individuals sitting in our cushy little DC offices. All right? The Democratic Party is so not scary. It no one's buying it, okay? The Democratic Party is not overthrowing America. They couldn't even overthrow themselves, all right? I don't think the Democratic Party could actually locate where Washington, D.C. is if they weren't wheelchaired fucking in and sat in their own seats, let alone lead a revolution. All right, they're not doing that, Mr. President. They're not doing that, Trump. All right, so no one's buying it. You're just doing this to have military control over the country, which is a disgrace to the military, by the way. I feel like every single military veteran should take a look at this and absolutely be appalled at Donald Trump because they're using you as a political puppet to police your own citizens. You're supposed to be the most valiant, most respectable military in the world. All right, you are feared among the world as the biggest military in the world, and we're using the might of our military to march around pride parades or something. I don't know what we're doing anymore. The biggest threat to America, a transgender. The biggest threat to America, someone who doesn't like fascism. The biggest threat to America, someone protesting. Watch out, watch out. It's absolutely insane. And the fact that we're having a budgetary crisis and we will probably give even more money to Israel after this budget crisis is over and after the government is being reinstated. I don't understand anything. I don't understand how these people are getting away with this. I mean, seven, almost $18 billion. 18 billion. Think of that. Think of $18 billion. All right. You want to know what that means? At least for my town, that's 5% of my town's income annually goes to Israel. 5% of my entire town. 5% goes to Israel. That's lordship numbers. That's we are a puppet state of another nation numbers. All right? That is like you get taken over by another king and you need to pay reparations to them. It's war reparations. That's that type of tax that they're putting on us. And that's our best ally. That's our greatest, strongest, and most trustworthy ally. The person who bombed our own ships, the person who is doing a genocide in another nation, and the person who is taking billions of dollars from us, from American taxpayers. Well, the debt ceiling's at an all-time high. The gas prices have stagnated and have not gone down. The unemployment rate is going up for college graduates. So college graduates, you no longer can get jobs. You can't get jobs in general anymore. There are more people looking for jobs than there are jobs. The President of the United States is cutting federal jobs, so there's going to be even less jobs now. And he's looking to withhold back pay from federal workers after the government shutdown, which means if you were working during this whole shutdown, no matter how long it is, it could be for a month, all right? You're not getting paid for it. I don't know about you, but there are many families in America that if they went 1 month without any money, without any cash flow coming in, if they took a month off of work, they would be homeless. All right? And I guarantee you there are probably a lot of federal workers right now who are in the exact same boat and probably have families that will starve and will go homeless without a federal job. All right? And threatening to withhold back pay, all that is doing is scaring the shit out of your own federal workers. All right? It's not the Democrats' fault here. As much as you would like to blame the Democrats, you control the House. You control the Congress. You control the Senate. You control the presidency. You have all the branches. You even have the Supreme Court. You have literally the entire government in the majority of the Republicans, and you still somehow fuck this nation up every day somehow. There's, as you say, no crime. There's no war in Ba Sing Se. Watch out. Because I don't know about you, but having no crime literally can't happen, all right? Crime happens every day, and that's just how it works. Crime happens. All right. So you can't have no crime. We have the immigration crisis, which is basically we have made we have deputized our ICE agents to Modern Warfare to spawn camp these people who are going through the legal process. Why did my entire screen just go black? I'm being sabotaged by something. Okay, I'm okay. I don't know what happened. My screen went black. Both my monitors. I don't know why. But excuse me. But we've basically deputized our ICE agents to spawn camp like it's Call of Duty in 2007 right in the courthouse. I saw a video today where there were six or seven federal agents dressed in plain clothes sitting outside an immigration hearing just waiting for the guy to walk out of the courtroom. I thought the whole thing was if you were doing the proper legal channels and you weren't a criminal, that you were going to be safe and that you are fine and we don't want to arrest you. But it seems like what we're doing is we are arresting every single immigrant, whether they're not trying to do the legal process, whether they're doing the legal process, whether they're literally in the courtroom mid-process, whether they're whatever, walking down the street. But no matter what it is, they're arrested. Now I don't know about you, but I don't think that's what you voted for, was it? Did you vote for the stagnant gas prices, the lowering of the careers in the nation, the collapsing government, the divided house that is still even more divided than before, the police, the military police states that's going on in the nation, the continued cooperation with Israel, and the cover up of the Jeffrey Epstein files? Don't think we forgot about that one. Hey, he's still kicking, or he wasn't. But hey, the topic's back on the table. What happened to those Epstein files? Why aren't they being released? Just the other day, the border czar of our nation, all right? He got probed by the FBI to get bribed for $50,000, all right, for government contracts to a investor. All right, that investor was an FBI agent, and then Kash Patel covered up the case, saying that there was no credible information, even though they recorded it on video of him receiving the bribe. All right, our government's corrupt. Our money is being drained. Our budget is at an all-time low. The standard of living is at an all-time low. The groceries and gas have stagnated. The entire country is under a police state, and they are in control of the House and Senate and Congress and judicial branch and the presidency. And they still want to blame the geriatric fucks in the DNC. Chuck Schumer and his little lazy glasses down to the tip of his nose aren't doing this, guys. It's you. You are fucking the country. Thank you guys for watching the video. Please stay informed. And if you want to see how much you're paying to Israel, go to notmytaxdollars.org. Go to your state. Go to your city. Oh, excuse me. Go to your state. Say it's, I don't know. Say it's Florida. And then you would go to city. And then you would select your city, whatever it is. It's alphabetical, so it's very easy for you. You click on Sarasota, Florida, and look at that. Sarasota pays $4.1 million to Israel. How nice is that? Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video everywhere so that everyone knows how much of a fuck up our government is right now.